With all of our winter preparations complete, we now have the opportunity to spend some quality time together as a family, enjoying the fresh air of the forest and cozying up the decor at the cabin for the upcoming Christmas season. Our long-term goal has always been to make the necessary additions and improvements to the cabin so that we could use it as a home base between road trips, both in the summer and in the winter. We are thankful that we are now able to comfortably stay here during the cold winter months as we plan out our next overland adventures.
Welcome to another episode of
The Epic Family Road Trip. Hey guys, it is now December, if you can believe it, and this is the month of Christmas, so we're really focusing on making the cabin really cozy. This month tends to go by so fast, and then you got to wait another whole year. So today, because it's super windy on the lake, there's wind warnings and everything, so we're sticking to the island, we're not going out, and we're just collecting, we're foraging. We're trying to collect natural flora from the island, and then we'll go back and we'll try to make some wreaths and garlands and all kinds of things to decorate the cabin. We thought it would be nice to decorate it with items that come from the island itself. So I've got some birch bark. Dan and Caroline and Carol are collecting some different spruce boughs, and I think they have juniper they've found. There's pine, and what else do we got here? Let's go see what we have. These are nice, white pine.
We have some armloads of this here.
This is actually my favorite. It's the softest needle in the forest.
So I think if we mix that with a lot of this.
Yeah.
What a perfect day to be out collecting greens. We want to do a lot of garlands and like decorate around the windows, and Caroline's going to be doing some dried oranges and then popcorn and cranberries. It's going to make it so cozy. Can't wait. Okay, Dan, why don't you get some of the white pine, and then we'll get some of the red pine over here.
All right, I'm gonna take the temperature of the water again. The air is definitely getting colder, but everything's still liquid. We've got ice on the shoreline, but nothing in this part of the water. Some of the rivers and still areas have a little bit of ice, but let's take a reading here. It's just slightly under 5, so between 4 and 5 degrees, which is between 39 and 40 Fahrenheit. So it's gone down about a half a degree from last week. All right, so in last week's video we were installing all of this, and now it's finished except for some fine details which we're going to do ourselves, lining up the batteries and bolting them down and so on. But as in terms of functionality, it's all working. So up here is the battery bank. Each one of these batteries are 270 amp hours, so we have 1620 amp hours of power up here, which is amazing. And they're all hooked up in a 24 volt style. The power comes from here and then down into these two 3000 watt inverters. They're also battery management systems, and they're also charging devices. So they can charge from the solar panels, which aren't hooked up yet. And we have two solar charge controllers. So we're going to probably have 6 400 watt solar panels hooked up after the freeze up. And we'll wire them into here, so then the power comes in from the sun and goes through this charging control unit into the batteries. In the meantime, and as a backup, we have a generator down here. It's a Honda 7000, and it's got a 30 amp charger, which is hardwired. I can show you in a minute. It goes into a splitter and then into these two charging devices. So along with that, we have what they call an auto-gen system, which automatically will start the generator if the batteries get below a certain threshold. So batteries get low, generator kicks in, charges them back up, generator turns off. Now once we have solar going, that should almost not have to happen, or very, very rarely, maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. Over here we have the brains. Well, first of all, the smart shunt communicates with this. In fact, it's connected to all the devices, so that here on the touchpad screen we can monitor how much power we're using, how much power is left in the battery system, how much output, input, and so on. So it's very powerful, as well as the Victron app allows us to do all that from our phone as well. There's also, you can see these little red wires. Some we're just going to tie together, but these guys are a heating system. So there's a switch behind me, and when it gets really cold at night, this is an insulated building, so it's going to keep a lot of its heat. We also have a heater, but on top of that we can flick a switch and the batteries will self-heat and manage their temperature. With lithium like this, you don't have to worry, there's no liquid, so you don't have to worry about anything freezing, but they become inefficient in terms of performance when the temperature gets really cold. So these all have self-heating units in them, and they also have BMS or battery management systems built into the batteries, so they're very intelligent batteries. And lastly, everything is connected together with a grounding wire, and that way, if say a solar panel or anything got struck by lightning, that energy would go into the ground panel, which we put in the ground outside. So I'm going to show you now outside how it connects into the house. So right now we're at the back of the shed here, and we've got the ground coming out of the building, and it goes 2 feet down, and there's a ground plate down there, and then this is the power that comes out of the system and goes to the house. We'll show you how it connects to the house. We just have to silicone around these holes, and then it's all done. We've buried the line to the cabin, but it's a huge improvement for us. There was a time when we just had an extension cord plugged into a generator powering our lights, so now we've got a solid, robust electrical connection going to the house. So this is where it connects into the cabin. So we, as you know, hired an electrician to help us out with all of this, so that everything is done to code, done professionally. We didn't want to, mess around with something as important as electrical. If it's done right, it's not a safety concern, but on top of that, we have a lot of editing equipment, camera equipment, and important things that we need a good, steady, solid, reliable power source coming to. So we're really happy with this whole system from Battleborn Batteries. We have the same system in our Jeep, and it's incredible power. Works for us on the road, and now we have a great system at the cabin.
All right, so today is the first day of December, so it's time to grab the Christmas stuff, which we stored in the alu box. This usually has all of our traveling equipment when it's on the Jeeps, but now that we're staying at the cabin for a while, we've repurposed them around the storage area to carry various things that we need. This one, the original one, is full of the Christmas stuff.
Carol asked me to get some finishing nails for hanging up the garlands and some of the Christmas things. And on an island, of course, it takes you all day to go shopping. So we've been building our own supply of hardware, as have the previous owners, all the way back from the 50s. And you see on these old antique shelves, you'll have cigar boxes full of even just copper nails. This stuff is really old. Been here, and we don't use it much. We more just preserve the antiques as much as possible, but we continue to replenish everything and build up our own supplies. These just aren't as cool, the modern day plastic containers, but I found a whole tin of finishing nails, so I think that'll do the job.
Spending Christmas at the cabin has been a dream of ours for a long time, and we are determined to enjoy each and every magical moment together. After foraging around the island and gathering a variety of spruce, cedar, and pine boughs from the forest, we are making some garlands, wreaths, and traditional decorations to cozy up the cabin for the festive season. We can make that after.
Alright, so this is the last warmish day, and so I'm gonna do a load of laundry before we move up the machine up into the sauna again. And now I understand why they had it in the sauna, because it'd just be a warmer, it wouldn't be so frozen, because your hands and everything, so it'd just be a warm environment. And we're gonna hang up some new line in the room there, and so we can dry our clothes in there as well. So we'll have laundry and bath day all at the same time in the winter. But yeah, it's a pretty neat machine, and it's working for us right now. But I think next year we plan on getting something more eco-friendly, and that is smaller. I love the European styles that has the washer and dryer all in one. That would be really nice. The water is so cold. My hands are numb. But it'll be a lot warmer in the sauna for sure.
calmed down a bit in terms of the jobs we're doing for winter. This one we've been wanting to do for a long time, and the flag here is all tattered and worn out. We put this pole up a couple of years ago, but we didn't have a pulley system, and so we have to knock out the top bolt. We're gonna have to lean the pole down, tie on a new flag, and put it back up. But one of these days we're gonna buy a pulley system so we can bring it up and down in the strong winds like we have today. So that's what we're doing. If it falls, we'll run out of the way. Last time we did this, we could just kind of bend the branches out of the way, but now they're 3 years or 2 years thicker, so. Kind of worn out. Sure picked a windy day. All right, that looks a lot better. We've got the new flag up now. The pole could use a bit of paint, but right now it's too cold for paint. It would kind of gel and probably not adhere properly, so we'll do that in the spring. But yeah, the colors are flying properly now.
Stuff that we need because we're gonna catch it. You did.
Special weather statement in effect. Strong winds expected this morning through the afternoon. Hazard west or northwest winds with gusts 60 to 80 clicks. Timing this morning lasting through the afternoon. Impacts. Utility outages may occur. Shouldn't have to worry about that. Damage to roof shingles and windows. High winds may toss loose objects around. Alright, batten down the hatches.
As a cold front blows in from the north, the needle on our thermometer outside has already dropped 6 degrees colder than it was this morning. And it looks like much more cold and wintry weather is in store for next week.
And in the meantime,
We'll see you down the road.